Alright y'all, today what we're going to go over is a light fade. I'm going to take about almost bald on the sides, and we're going to have about a curly top. There's something that we can sponge. The fade will be up kind of high. Just to show you that no matter what type of haircut that we're going to use, the same system works, whether it's long hair, short hair. Yeah, so this is just a different type of style that we're going to get into today. I'll be using Wall Senior with the black wall guards and some outliners. Pretty much that's it. I could do something with detachables, but today, just to make it quick and short and show you how things work, we're going to use the Wall Seniors. And then let's get started. Alright, yeah, first thing we're going to do is I'm going to take these Wall Seniors, no guard, open them all the way up, which is going to make it like a light fade or shadow fade for another term. I'm just going to start, and we're going to go about mid. So it should be this will be a mid fade, mid light fade, mid shadow fade. Yeah, you know, that should be enough. You know, mid fade, mid shadow fade. So whenever I'm talking about middle, it's usually to the point. If I was low, it'd probably be like right here, right around this arch, and then high is usually, you know, high and tight. So mid light fade. So what I'm gonna do is put this first level in all the way around. Normally we drop it down in the back a little bit. So just going through, and then always you want to make sure you're always clean as you go. So make sure you're always clean as you go. The more time you get cutting, the more comfortable you get when you start cutting. It'll get cleaner. You'll start to get a feel for it and a nice rhythm, and you'll just be able to cut however you need to cut. So, just as I'm over here, putting in that first level. Now I'm going to tilt the clippers a little bit. I want you to be able to see that. So I'm going to tilt the clippers and just feather out this side brown. And then I'll come down on it, just so that blends in. As you can see on the other side, this little mark right here, we're going to do the same thing. Tilt the clippers up. Lay it down. Take that out. Okay, that's how you get the beard to fade in. Now, our next step, if we did this, no guard, all the way open, the next level I'm going to put in, I'm going to put the 1.5. 1.5. Attach it, keep it closed. You know, whenever I tell you we put our levels in, we always do it closed. So we're going to put this next level in. Remember, we skipped over the 1/8 and we went to the 3/16. Now, this technically could have been, this area right here technically could have been a 1/16 or a half guard, which would have been 1/16. So we skipped a whole 1/8. As I always say, whenever you're putting in your levels, you want it to be about a finger length, knuckle length. So that's what we're doing here. The reason I say that is to make sure you have enough space when you're fading. So I just want to make sure you have enough space. Alright, now we turn it. You can see pretty much how we got that knuckle length. One line and two lines. So we have two lines all the way around. Alright, two lines. Okay. Now, our next step, we did that 1.5. We're going to take this 2 and just go right up to the crown. Now, normally I would go with a 2.5. Since I started with 16ths, I need to skip a whole 1/8 all the way up, right? So I would be 1/16, which is the little small black guard on this, the little small black guard, the 1/16 guard, or I got this 1.5. Now I'm going to put a 2 on, and the reason why I'm not going to a 2.5 is when I come up the head, when I come up, I'm just going to tailor off the head. So I'm not going to go with the contour shape of the head. I'm going to come straight up. Okay, and that's going to give me my difference between a 2 and a 2.5. So I'm coming up and I'm coming off. When I get to this parietal ridge or this crown or hat band area. Okay, so I went and did that, and this is a 2 I have on here now. So we're just coming on up, coming all the way around, basically doing another level, but not quite, because we'd have to skip a whole 1/8 if we were going to do a true level. So we only skipped a 16. That's basically, we went from 3/16 to 4/8. And 4/8 is also known as 1/4. Alright, so you see kind of how we did that. If you look at it, still a little bulky right there, but I'm going to show you how we get that out. So we just took this 2 and we went up. And as we did that, what I'm doing here in slow mo so you can see is coming straight up, but in a faster motion. So I'm doing it quick, but I'm coming straight up. Okay? Coming straight up. Coming straight up. Coming straight up. Alright? Coming straight up. Alright? Now we can go to our 3. And right around this parietal ridge, so now we got a 3 on here. And right around this parietal ridge, or crown area, we're going to comb it down. Right? Comb it down all the way around. And as you can see, there's a little bit of hair like sticking over, so it kind of looks like it's a little line almost. If you look at it closely, like you can see there's a little bit of bulk right there. So what I'm going to do, you can see that little bit of bulk. So now I'm just going to take this 3 and I'm going to come down on it. Okay? And this is just around the crown. And what this is called is reducing. So I'm just reducing this bulk. Okay? Alright. And as you can see, I'm also coming down on an angle. Just like I was on the other side. I'm not coming straight down, because I don't want to create another stiff line. So I'm coming on an angle. Angles eliminate lines. And when you're stiff, that's how you create lines. So make sure you make note of that. Angles eliminate lines, and when you're stiff, you're going to create lines. Okay? So whenever you're trying to eliminate an angle or reduce bulk, you should always be on an angle. Some type of angle. You don't want to be straight across, but some type of 45 degree. Alright. Then I took the same 3 and now I'm going against. And I still have it closed. Okay? So now that we have the top taken care of, and we pretty much have we still have our levels, even though they're faint, they're not as strong. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to repeat the process that I've showed you probably numerous times. of how we reduce this down. So I'm just gonna do one side, and then we're gonna take this one side and compare it to the other side. Alright. Okay, so this is the side we're gonna do right here. What I have on here now is a 2. Remember, I just went up on it with a 3, so now I need to open this 2 to $2.80, and we're going to start reducing this down until it fades all the way out. You can see we have one line, which was our first one. We got a second line, and we kind of just took out that third line by going against and with the grain. Alright, here we go. So now I'm going to take this out. Now I got it, closed down a little bit. And just so you can understand the angle, I'm on it. So I'm from uncut hair to cut hair. When I see it, hear it, feel it, I come off. Okay? Cut hair, it's uncut hair to cut hair. So always start below the line. Like if I'm up in here, I'm missing all this hair down here. So you want to make sure you start from uncut to cut to off. Alright. And you want to stay in your zones. You do not want to be all the way up in here with a 1 or a half. You want to stay in your zones. That's what you created them for. Next is a 1.5. I got a 1.5 on here. I'm going to open it halfway, because if we were already at $1.50 trying to get to $2, we just add half to 150, which will make it 2. And this is called double checking your work. So then I go from uncut hair to cut hair, and then off. Okay? As you start to keep, as you cut and you get more experience and you get more reps, your feel for cutting hair will be a whole lot better. So if you start off early on and you feel like you're not getting it right, I just closed them. If you feel like you're not getting it right, the reason why is because you just have to develop a feel. And the more you do something, the better you'll get at it, and the more of a feel that you'll have for it. Okay? So I got this 1.5 on here closed. I had it open at the start. Now it's closed. Now we're going to take that off. And we're going to take this one that we skipped over. Remember, we put this in with no guard all the way open, which is also equivalent to a half all the way closed. So now I got this 1 on there. I'm going to open it. Because why? I'm fading into that 1.5 area. So I'm going from uncut hair to cut hair and then off. Same process. Doesn't even matter the hair texture. You just have to use bigger guards when the hair is very thin. Same procedure. And then I want you to also understand too that when you're doing this, you got to stick and move. Don't dig in the same spot so many times. All you're going to do is create a whole nother line for yourself. Create more work for yourself. Now I'm halfway. Stick and move on an angle. Never straight up and down. X motion, 45-degree angles, both ways. Always against the grain. Don't cut across a hair. So if hair direction changes, make sure you're going against it. Because you'll note that, when you come across some haircuts, the hair will go down and then start slanting. You need to make sure you slant opposite with it. Okay? If not, you'll cause yourself to get light spots. And they become very noticeable. And you'll mess up a haircut before you even start. Alright, now we got it all the way closed. And as you can see, as I'm fading down, the line is getting more faded to where almost you can barely see it. It's just, it's getting lighter. Okay? But it's not going to come out until you go back through the entire process. So even if you think and your eyes lie to you and they say, oh, that look faded, guess what happens when they get up and they walk away from your chair, and by the time they hit the door and the sunlight hit them, it looks like they got a bolt around their head. So always trust the process and make sure you complete. It's kind of like a jump shot when you gotta leave your follow through up there. If not, you're gonna hit the back of the rim, and they're in the crowd gonna be like, ooh, ah, they're gonna be salty. But you just missed the game winning shot, and you had the opportunity, and you messed it up. So now I got this half on here, and I got it open a little bit, about 3/4 of the way, just to, you know, double check myself. Now I got it closed. Now I got it closed all the way. And remember when I said that you could either put this on there and do it closed, or you could open this up and take it all the way off. And it was pretty much close to the same thing. Actually, the comparisons probably should be to like 40 cent and 50 cent. It's pretty much, if you got 40 cents, you most likely got 50 cent. So if we look at that, that kind of looks blended out, right? Especially if you compare it to the other side. You compare it to the other side, you know, and then you take it back, and you're comparing it like this. That's blended out. But as I said earlier, you got to trust the entire process. So I'm going back to this with no guard all the way open. Real faint, something quick. Just to touch it up, just to make sure. Then, you know, when you really want to make sure things are airtight, you just go back, you double check, you look, you say, okay, cool, might be a little bit of a mark right there. I'm just going to go in here. And just touch it up. Okay? I put a little bigger guard on because I had to go up a little bit. And just do a little touch up. And it's faded. Done. So then when we go from there, I always tell you whenever you finish a fade, you always want to make sure that you put a line on it. So we come behind here. And what the outline does is the outline helps you see the full blend and the whole entire look of the haircut. So we go around the ear. Always make sure that you cuff the ear. Turn it to the side. Do what you need to do with it. Okay. So if I wanted to do that, and I can go here. Put this line right here. Put this line in just around the beard. So we can see it. And we look at it all faded out. Put a nice line on it. Compared to like this, where we still got a full line, and you see the fade start to go. Alright? Same process, same procedure. Just an outliner, some guards, wall senior. Now I could switch this up and put a master on it, put a magic clip, whatever. Same exact procedure, same result. Alright. If there's any questions, you know, just log on to my lives or follow me on Instagram, shoot me a DM, an email, and yeah, that's it. So you see, it's lined up, it's faded. We're gonna sponge this top. I'm gonna finish the other side of this haircut just to make the video short.